but thank you so much for braving this rain with us. I mean, this means so much to my family. And this means so much to all the people out there that have missing loved ones. And tonight, we'll be honoring all of them tonight. And so you've seen over there how many people are still missing in Utah. And so, before I start, I want to thank some people that made this event so special. I want to thank the mayor, Steve Layson, and the city council to declaring Kiplyn's Day to bring awareness to missing persons out there. And I just want to thank Sterling Johnson and his amazing helpers. They made this cemetery beautiful for us, and the grounds are beautiful, if you can tell. I want to thank Heritage Memorials. They came to come and clean Kiplyn's headstone for us. And so if you've seen what the headstone looks like, it's beautiful. They made it beautiful for us. Let's see. And then I want to thank basically Steve Adams and Heather Frost. They're the ones that brought me the pictures of the missing persons that you see on the table today. And Camilla Larson for bringing this together. I've asked Camilla to help me with this. Without her, this event would not have happened today. Thank you so much for honoring people that have missing loved ones. And that's what tonight's all about. It's honoring them and their families. So hopefully they'll bring their families home and bring them closure that we want for Kiplyn also. I asked Mayor Steve Layson to say the prayer for us. Mayor?
Our Father in heaven, we're so grateful, Father, for the many blessings we enjoy. We're grateful for the opportunity that we have to come here this night to honor those people who have gone missing, and especially Kiplyn Davis at this time. Father, we ask a very special blessing on all those families of those missing children, that thou would watch over and bless them and comfort them at this time and give them the hope that they need, that through some miracle that their kids will return. We're grateful for this opportunity to honor them, and we're thankful for the blessings that thou's given us, the blessing of hope. And we know that we want to let those families know that they all have a support system here with all of us as we gather around to share our support and love and let them know how much we do care for them at this time. Now, Father, we dedicate this night and this day unto Thee for all those missing children here in our town, our state, and our country. Help us to always remember them and keep them in our hearts and our prayers. And please bless those families once again, and we're grateful for all these blessings. And we say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Mayor, for that beautiful prayer. Thank you so much. I'm going to share some memories that I have of Kiplyn, which is not very many because I was 9 when Kiplyn disappeared. And I have some memories of her. Memories I have of Kiplyn is that she was not just my friend, but she was my sister. And we were very close. I know we had a big age difference, but we got to do a lot of things together. What I remember about Kiplyn, that she was pretty excited about life. She was excited that my sister Haley was getting married the same year that she disappeared, and she was like so excited to plan the wedding for Haley. And she knew we can't actually see Haley get married, but I know that she was in heaven watching over that night, and she was very, very proud of Haley. I remember how excited Kiplyn was when my nephew Skylar was born. he was born on Christmas Day, and that was the best Christmas present ever. And she was like so excited that she's gonna be an aunt. And she, like I said, she kind of missed out on a lot of things, like graduations and birthday parties and weddings and the birth of her nieces and nephews. I remember stories about Christmas time with the family. Every year around Christmas Eve, we went to my grandma and Grandpa Thomas's house with the family, and we got together and the family, and we got basically new pajamas every year, pretty much. And so and then that night we basically would go to bed, and we would talk for a while until Santa Claus came. And so we talked for a bit, and then that night she asked if I heard any, like, Santa Claus basically was coming. So like, we had to get to sleep so she would come. And so when we were asleep, and Kiplyn basically is like, "Did you hear that?" And I was like, "I didn't hear anything." And she's like, "No, did you hear that?" And I didn't hear nothing at all. She's like, "No, Santa Claus is here and his reindeer. Can I hear that?" And I said, "No." So finally, I did actually hear Santa Claus's reindeer, and we finally got to sleep. And so the next day, we got to see from Santa Claus. So Christmases were the best time for our family because we had a tradition where we got everyone together and as a family. And with us siblings, we're still at home. We wake each other up, and then wake our parents up and see what we got for Christmas. I miss those days. I missed going on family vacations. We went to California to go see my sister go cheer because she was a cheerleader, and so we went to California, went to Yellowstone and places like that. And so I miss stuff like that. But I know over the years that Kiplyn's been gone, I know that she's here with all of us tonight, and she's our angel, and I know she can be very proud of us for doing this, not just for her, but for all the missing persons and their families. So tonight we're gonna have a very special musical number from Kay and Ann. I know these two wonderful ladies for a very long time, and they'll be doing this song for us, and they'll tell you the song they're singing. So when you hear this song, they're saying is just listen to the lyrics, and then you understand why you hear these lyrics, because it's kind of mind you about Kiplyn and also mind you about other people that are also missing that we're honoring tonight. So I'll have Kay and Ann. Kay and Ann.
Tamara apologized for the rain, but we says it's about 80 degrees warmer than the last time we come up and did this, right? So we'll take this rain anytime, but we want to thank the Davises for asking us to do this. Sunny days seem to hurt the most. I wear the pain like a heavy coat. The only thing that gives me hope is I know I'll see you again someday. Someday, someday, someday.
Thank you so much, Kay and Ab, for that beautiful musical number. That was from Kenny Chesney. And like I said, if you heard that lyrics, the songs, you realize it just mean about Kiplyn and about the other missing persons out there. I'm gonna have my dad speak up next, and we'll go from there.
You know why it's raining, don't you? The heavens are weeping. There's some happy, happy people up there. One little red-headed girl, and she's shedding a lot of tears because all of you wonderful people that are here today. I am so proud of Chris and Camilla for putting on this vigil. I just can't tell you how proud I am, and to look over the congregation here today, and it's just truly a wonderful thing. I just don't know what to say. I'm just flabbergasted. I got a few things I wanted to say, and with it raining, maybe I'll cut some of the things out. But Chris has thanked a lot of people today for the city, the mayor and the city council for making this Kiplyn's Day. That was truly a great honor, and we appreciate the city so very much. We truly do. Lived here all our lives. I can't think of a better place to live than Spanish Fork. We have truly been lucky. Thankful for the sound system, and we're thankful for Mike Duffin and Audio Vision for playing Kiplyn's tribute that's over there, and Ann and Kay for that beautiful song. I had them sing that at the Christmas Box Angel. We've been doing that for years and years now, and I had them do it a few years back, and it's just a great, great song, and it's something that one day, we wondered what Kiplyn would have been like. Miss Spanish Fork for handing out the candles and her attendants. Thank you so very much for doing that. Let me just tell you a couple of things about Kiplyn. I tell this all the time in the memorials, but everybody that knows Kiplyn knew how bubbly she was and how wonderful of a personality she was, and how everybody was her friend. That's what I really thought about it. Gee, she'd say hi to everybody, and you'd go, well, who's that, Kiplyn? And she'd go, oh, she's just my friend, or he's just my friend. And she just truly loved life. And I love to tell stories about her, and I told one the other day about, in city council, about how when she was in Young Women's, somebody asked her, one of the Young Women's advisors says, if you could be anybody in this world, who would you want to be? And Kiplyn, they got to Kiplyn, and Kiplyn says, I would like to be me. And the advisor says, no, if you could be anybody. And she says, I can't think of anybody I'd rather be than myself. And you know what? I have followed that and lived that example. I have one little letter I want to read about Kiplyn that was sent to us many, many years ago. And I just wanted to share it with you. It says, Cookies and the Mall. And it says, Mr. and Mrs. Davis, I have fond memories of your daughter Kiplyn. In the fall of 1990, my husband Richard and I moved into the duplex less than a block from your cute house. And soon I found myself accepting the calling to teach the older primary girls in the ward. Kiplyn was the only one who came to class. I invited her to the house and we began visiting her classmates at her suggestion. Within a month or two, we had taken cookies to every home on our list, and through the true Kiplyn-like generosity, we soon had 10 to 12 girls attending each week. It was a small miracle right before our eyes. Cookies. We made a lot of cookies on activities days to take to people. I still remember Kiplyn coaching me on how to use the spoon to round the edges on the dough like her mother did. I still can't make a batch of cookies without thinking of a certain redhead. I always try for that rounded look that she expected. The mall. We had a baby and asked Kiplyn to babysit on several occasions, even often after we moved. Then moved to Provo. I saw you, her mom, and Kiplyn at the mall one day. It had been several years and she was so grown up. Bubbly as ever, looking for those cute clothes that made and added that touch to that perky smile. I started over to say hi, but just stood back and smiled as I watched this young lady. Even then, I had fond memories, and I just enjoyed seeing her happy. It wasn't long after that we learned that she was missing. My first reaction was to go to the mall, to look at her. I still look for her in the malls. I miss her. I know you miss her. I'm sorry for the heartache that this has caused. I just wanted you to know that she is blessed. She has blessed my life. I want to tell one more story, and then I just want to thank some people. Tamara tells me not to say these stories, but I love them. They had a father's daughter dance in our stake, and I didn't want to go. But Kiplyn said, "You're my dad, and so you got to go." And so we went, and we had dinner, and afterwards, me and a bunch of the fathers, we went over in the corner hoping that our daughters would leave us alone as they started doing square dancing. And as soon as they started, here comes Kiplyn, and she grabs me and pulls me out right out in the middle of the dance floor. And we started to dance. And before that night was over, I did not want it to end. I was having so much fun with Kiplyn because she's so bubbly and loved life and wanted me to enjoy life. And she got me going to church again and told the bishop to give me a calling to get me to go to church. And she was just one of those type of people that just wanted to enjoy life and live life. I want to thank a few people here. I want to start thanking the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. When she disappeared, we got in contact with them, and they got in contact with us, and they have sent her picture all across the nation. And we still, to this day, get notices from the center that her picture is in some of the bus stops or some of the rest areas to this day. We really appreciate that. I mean, we got a lot of information from those people. And the Polly Klaus Foundation is another one of them wonderful auxiliaries that have come forward and put her picture out throughout the country. And we truly appreciate that. We really appreciate the Amber Alert. Can you imagine how many children have been found within days and weeks because of this wonderful organization of the Amber Alert? Thank our Father in heaven every day for that great tool. I wish we had the Amber Alert back in them days. Maybe things would have been a little different. My heart goes out to all the families in Utah County that have missing children. If you go over here and look over here at this table, there's 10 of them that are missing in Utah County. And there's a packet right next to it that has hundreds of pictures of people that are missing in Utah. I cannot believe that there's that many people in the state of Utah that are missing. I wonder where they are. I just can't believe it. But we know what they're going through, and my heart just breaks for them, and we pray for these people every day. We'd like to thank anyone who has given us a hug or said a prayer for our family, or I'm thinking of you type of incidents. Thank you so very much. We appreciate your prayers and your love that you have given our family through the 23 years that we have lost Kiplyn. We're thankful for the media. You know, I can't tell you how many wonderful things have happened because of the media and the news that has come out, and wonderful things that have come out, and people have come forward and told us information about Kiplyn because of the media. Thank you so very much. I want to thank all the volunteers that have come out and helped look for Kiplyn and tried to find Kiplyn, especially up there at the Thistle Slide. The one time when they went and said that Kiplyn was buried up by the Thistle Slide, the hundreds and hundreds of volunteers that came out and sifted through all that dirt trying to find Kiplyn's remains. It was truly a miracle and remarkable thing. For the Clyde Company for bringing out the sifter and helping us, for Spanish Fork City for bringing out the backhoes and track holes that we had out there at that time. Anyway, thank you for all those wonderful, wonderful volunteers. I want to thank all the people that served on the juries, the federal juries, the grand juries, and the state juries, and all them great and wonderful people that put their time and dedication into that. And thank all the witnesses that came forward and gave their all and showed their courage to try to help bring back Kiplyn and find her and bring justice. For the Utah County Attorney's Office and for all that they have done. I want to thank all my friends that have boosted me and my family through the years and give us love and support. I can't name every one of you, but I just can't tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you that have helped me. And I truly do call you my friend. And I love each and every one of you for what you've done. I want to thank the Spanish Fork Police Department for helping me in all these years, and the thumbs ups that I have got from each and every one of them as I pass them and we talk. I'd like to thank Lynn and Mary Jane Tuttle's family for the spiritual support and all that they've done to help us in our times of need and their friendships. And Steve and Cheryl Leifson for what they have done for us, and the many times that Steve's gone for rides with me and looking for Kiplyn, and the many donuts that we've ate while we've been doing that. But I appreciate this, just people doing this for me. And John and Lana Mendenhall and their family, they have been there from the very beginning. They were there at our house when they found out that Kiplyn had disappeared, and their son Corey was a big effort in finding clues that we needed to try to track Kiplyn down and try to find the things that we truly needed. I truly love them for helping us and supporting us, and the prayers that we have cried together and the tears that we have shed. Thank you for all of them. For my family and Tamara's family, thank you for being there. I don't know how we could have got through this without you. For each and every one of you, for your support and your love and being there to the trials and our tribulations and the hold up of my children as we went through these terrible ordeals and the trials and this terrible deal. Thank you so very much. And I know he's not here today, but I need to thank my father-in-law, Calvin, because he would come and grab me every time we heard about some type of a clue, and we would take off, and he would take me and support me and push me and push me. And I can't tell you how much I love him for that. We got into some dead ends there for a while, and I didn't think we would ever, ever, ever find Kiplyn or even get any justice at all. And then a miracle happened. Elizabeth Smart disappeared. Now you might think that's a miracle. Well, she was found. But because of that, they did a federal grand jury. And when I seen that, it really upset me that I couldn't get one of them. So I wrote a letter to Paul Warner, who was the U.S. Attorney General for the state of Utah at that time, and a miracle happened. He answered my letter, and he called me up and asked me and Tamara to come up and see him. And we went up and visited him, and he started the ball rolling. And he introduced me to two of the greatest men that I've ever met in my life. A man by the name of Carlos Esqueda and Richard Lambert. And them two wonderful men came into my life. And they started finding the clues and finding witnesses and things like that. I truly love Carlos with all my heart, but Richard Lambert has become my big brother. I truly, truly love him. He's become part of my family. He's been with us when we took Kiplyn's work done in the temple, and was there when Chris received her work and when she was married in the temple. And he's just helped me and coached me and been part of my life. And I truly, truly appreciate all that he has truly done. They have been bulldogs, and they have found many, many things that we would have never, never, never found. Steve Adams, I can't tell you how much I love and appreciate him, the chief of police here in Spanish Fork. He wasn't the chief back then. He truly, truly was a great man that has helped us find wonderful clues and has done some great and wonderful work, and I appreciate him. And one more man, Mike Anderson. He was my FBI agent, and I can't tell you how he coached me and helped me through these terrible ordeals to get us into the federal court systems. He would call me up and he would say, "Come over here, Richard, I need to talk to you." And we would talk strategies, and he would help me. And he was just such a big influence, and I can't tell you how much I love and appreciate him. I can tell you one day, there's going to be when all these people pass away and we're up in heaven, there's going to be a certain redhead that's going to be giving you all hugs and kisses and thank yous for what you have truly done. And I appreciate that so very, very much. I call them my dream team. They truly were. Look at this. It's all stuck together. Can't even grab it. But I'm about done. I do want... Where's that paper? You got my papers? Who took my papers? I do want to read one story. It's not ruined. I want to read one story. The day Kiplyn disappeared. I've told this story many times, but the day Kiplyn disappeared, she was taking driver's training. And she was late, and she didn't want to go. And she come into my bedroom. She said, "Dad, I'm going to be late, so I'm just going to miss this class." And I told her, "You're not going to miss. You're going to go to class." And boy, that made her mad. And so she was getting ready, and Tamara went outside to take her to class, and I could hear her in there for the last getting things ready. And I said, "Kiplyn, your mother's out in the car waiting for you." And Kiplyn says, "I haven't got my makeup on." And I says, "You get your damn makeup and you get the hell out of here." And that's the last thing I ever said to my daughter. And I have to suffer with that for the rest of my life. My family, I love you. I truly do. And each and every one of us need to tell our families every day that we love you. Don't let a minute slip away, because you never know what's going to happen that day. You know, I never thought that would ever happen to me, so I just think this would just slip away. But always tell your family that you love them. And the other thing that I have found out is family prayer. How can you ever let your family go out into this world without your Father in heaven's help? And I just want to read a poem that I have read 1,000,000 times, and I want to read it one more time because it's so important to me. And it's so important to each and every one of us. If tomorrow never comes, if I knew it would be the last time that I'd see you fall asleep, I would tuck you in more tightly and pray the Lord your soul to keep. If I knew it would be the last time that I'd see you walk out that door, I would give you a hug and a kiss and call you back for just one more. If I knew it would be the last time that I'd hear your voice lifted up in praise, I would videotape each action and word and so that I could play them back day after day. If I knew it would be the last time that I could spare an extra minute or two to stop and say I love you and instead of assuming you know I do. If I knew it would be the last time that I'd be there to share your day, well, I'm sure you have so many more, so I can just let this one slip away. For surely there's always tomorrow to make up for an oversight, and we always get a second chance to make everything right. There will always be another day to say our I love yous, and certainly there's another chance to say our is there anything I can do. But just in case I might be wrong and today is all I get, I'd like to say how much I love you, and I hope we never forget. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone, young or old alike, and today may be the last chance you get to hold your loved ones tight. So if you're waiting for tomorrow, why not do it today? For if tomorrow never comes, you'll surely regret the day that you didn't take that extra time for a smile, a hug, or a kiss, and you were too busy to grant someone that turned out to be the one last wish. So hold your loved ones close today and whisper in their ears and tell them how much you love them and that you'll always hold them dear. And take time to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, or it's okay. And if tomorrow never comes, you'll never have any regrets about today. Like I said, Rory, Haley, Carissa, all of my children, all of my grandchildren, all of my sons-in-laws and daughters-in-laws, I love you. I love you. And I want you to know that. Tamara, I love you. I don't know how I could have ever gone through this without you. With your love and your support and your strength. No woman should have ever gone through this. No woman should have to go through this. But she has. And she's gone through it with strength and courage. And I don't know how I've ever been able to do it. There was a time I was in the temple with my dad, and he was my escort. And he gave me a nudge, and he says, Richard, look at your mother. Isn't she beautiful? She's my queen, and I love her. And I look at my wife, and I think, isn't she beautiful? She's my queen, and I love her. And we will get together, and we will do this, and we will make it through this time. And we will find Kiplyn. I know she's safe. I know she's happy. I know where she is spiritually. I just need to find her body and bring her back and place her over here with her monument. That's all I'm asking. If anybody knows where Kiplyn is, or any of these people that are here on the table, if anybody knows, if you can hear my voice, please write me a letter. Please give me a call. Please contact the police department, anything. Please just tell me where Kiplyn is. That's all we want to know. We just want to bring her back. We just want to get on with our lives. I hope one day I can turn my porch light off and say, welcome home, Kiplyn. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. What a big and wonderful tribute it is to Kiplyn. Thank you so very much.
So when we were leaving city council meeting a couple weeks ago, I asked Richard, I said, I really wish that we knew someone that played a musical instrument. And he's like, by golly, I tell you what. He's like, if you know of anyone, he's like, ask them to play Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And I immediately thought of Lizzie, and she gracefully accepted, and she was so excited to do this on request of Richard. So Lizzie Palmatier is doing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. now what we want to do is just turn the mic over to anyone here if they want to share a short memory of Kiplyn, or if they want to share a message to the family. And starting, I'll start. I was a friend of Kiplyn's growing up while we lived in Spanish Fork. My mom went to school with the Davises. Our grandparents were really good friends. And a few years ago, my brother drowned in Bear Lake. And it took him 50 days to find his body. And the last several months while we've been planning this, I've thought about that quite a bit, because those 50 days were excruciatingly painful for my family. We basically lived up at Bear Lake, and it was a very miraculous situation that led to the recovery of his body in 148 feet of water 50 days later. And I pray for that type of miracle for the Davis family, so that we truly can bring closure to Kiplyn's case, and Richard can turn off their porch light, and we can properly bury her and memorialize her over where her headstone is. So the mic is hot. If anyone wants to talk about memories or anything, they can come up and share briefly.
I'm this girl's father. This girl has been through so much. And when I got the call 6 weeks later about Brandon, some guy was up from Kuna, Idaho, come down. We didn't even know he was there. And this is the power of priesthood. We've been praying. All of our friends been praying. He argued. He wasn't a member of the church, and he argued with the search and rescue team about what way to go. And finally, he says, I'll go one way, and then we'll turn around and go the way you want to. The first pass, they found her brother's body. And she has lost another brother that was Richard. Jeffrey thought so much of Kiplyn. I'm here to vouch for him. He was talking about Kiplyn all the time. And I'd hear him and Camilla talk about her all the time. And me and Jean wonders what would have happened if Camilla would have stayed in Spanish Fork. To have Camilla as a friend close to her. And being a father, 6 weeks was hard for me, Richard. I can't imagine what it's been for 23 years for your family. I'm so thankful how you're holding up and how you're doing, handling things, and for all the friends that you have that are here for you at this time. And I know our Father in heaven is here also with Kiplyn, and he will help you make your days better.
I haven't seen a lot of you guys for a long time, or ever maybe, but love my Spanish Fork family. I'm not that far away. I'm just up Pleasant Grove, but still don't get here down a lot. But definitely had to come down here for Kiplyn, because I got to tell you, she was, and I know I always say it, but unless you really knew her, she was a sunshine. No matter where she went, she was bright as could be. She couldn't be dull anywhere she was. She light up her room every time she walked in. I've only had 2 people in my life babysit my kids besides my family, because I have a very big family. I'm a Meldrum, for those of you that know the Meldrums. But I've had 2 people that was allowed to babysit my kid, and Kiplyn was one of them. And they loved Kiplyn. Loved her, and I loved her too. Was able to hang out with her a little bit in Young Women's, and I know even when we split wards and we went up, it was still so fun to see her. She just was definitely the life of the party no matter where she went. She was the party and she did live life. And I would suggest that we take a little bit from that and try to remember that being happy is a choice every day. And she brings a smile to my face many times, as well as a tear in my heart sometimes. I love you guys.
This is not a Kiplyn story. This is something for everyone here tonight. This is so eloquent, it's just right to the point. You can pretend to care, but you can't pretend to show up. The people in your lives, we need to do more than just pretend to care. We need to show up and be there when they need us.
I didn't even plan on coming to this. And then I thought, it's raining. I want to show my support because nobody else is going to show up and be here. I was wrong. And the spirit that's here, I'm just amazed by it. I was in Kiplyn's ward. And 3 just quick stories. One is, I remember Kiplyn when she was trying out for cheerleading or dance, and they had to go out there in front of the school and do a big dance. And in my eyes, as a high school kid, I was so embarrassed for her. And I was like, I would never do that. And you look stupid out. That's my head. I'm thinking, you look stupid out there. But as an adult, that's just courage that she had and that amazement. Other story was the Saturday before she disappeared, I had the opportunity to go to Sadie Hawkins with her. I know at the time she was only 15, and I don't know why her parents let her go with me. I'm a good guy, I promise you. But I said yes, and we went, and in my mind, what I remember is having a lousy time. Not that because she wasn't fun and she was bubbly. We just ended up going with a group of like her drama club, and they were all excited about the play they were doing. That's all they wanted to talk about, and I suffered through it. And then, I see her at church on Sunday and just kind of hi and, thanks for letting me take you, and no thank you. And then we see her on Monday and kind of just, again, say hi in the hallway, and that was that. So, in my mind, her last date was lousy. But again, I want to thank the Davises for trusting me with their daughter and allowing me just that opportunity. And as much as I think in my mind I hated it, I'm glad that I went. And then the last thing I want to share is I remember coming home from work, and she was staying the night at my house with all the young women's, and they're like, Sam, we want to go TP the women's leader's house. Will you take us? And I'm like, okay. So they all jump in the back of the pickup truck. We drive there. Everybody wussed out except for Kiplyn and one other girl. So it's me and Kiplyn and this girl, Brittany Swearingen, who TP'd the house while everybody else hid in the truck, waiting not to be caught. So, like everybody's saying, that 15-year-old girl, she was full of spunk, life. Everybody loved her. And even as an older, being older her, we always felt as priests that it was our job to watch over the young women. And that's what we loved about them. All the girls, they rallied around each other, and we respected that. And that's, for you teenage boys who think you're better than the younger girls, just show them respect. Learn their names. Say hi to them in the hallways. You never know when that last hello in the hallway might be the last one. But again, I'm so grateful for everybody here and the love that you've all shown for her 23 years later. Like I said, I thought I'd just come by, give a hug, and tell the Davises how much I love them still. But again, wasn't planning on talking, but I do want to thank everybody for this moment.
I went to school with Kiplyn. I was a year older, and I wasn't like really good friends with her, but we had class together and kind of goofy and weird with each other. That's what you are in high school, you know. I've been wanting to tell you guys for the longest time. I have 3 daughters, and I think of your story all the time. The morning that she disappeared. And I made a vow to myself when I became a mom that I would never send my kids out the door with an angry word. And I can proudly say it's only been 3 times. And in those 3 times, I've chased them to school and taken them a drink or something because I never want the chance to not have to deal with that. Kiplyn lives through all of us that remember her. And we honor her. And we honor your family also. Thank you.
Kiplyn and I were the same age in school, and we ran in the same crowd for a little while in the 8th grade. As we progressed through school, I got into more athletics a little bit more. Our interests just kind of took us in different directions. But I remember in 8th grade, we hung in the same crowd for a while with Katie Thornton. Do you remember when she was friends with Katie Thornton? And I remember being at the middle school and walking to Barry's after a dance and passing the boy's house that she liked and her telling us where he lived, which I'm sure you know which boy I'm talking about. But I remember her telling me about that Haley worked at her uncle's gas station, which I didn't know which gas station that was because I was a Salem girl and I only knew fast gas. But let me tell you the memory I specifically remember about Kiplyn. We were in the 8th grade, and our lockers, so we were right up here at it was then called the intermediate school. And if any of you who are familiar with that school know that the back hall it was the only hall that adjoined the 6th and 7th grade side and the 8th and 9th grade side. And you weren't allowed to cross the certain line, right? Well, our lockers were along that back hall right before you would go down the stairs to the gym. Well, I remember, this is just so vivid in my mind. It was Halloween, and Kiplyn had worn Haley's cheerleading outfit for Halloween that year. She was so proud of Haley, and she was just so proud to be in that outfit. And she was always bounced when she walked anyway, but I don't know that she felt the ground when because she was just a bouncing and kicking. And I remember saying, these shoes make me bounce higher. And she couldn't have been more proud to be Haley's sister, and she couldn't have been more proud to wear that outfit. But that is a fun memory of her it's just a happy memory of her just being just in the best place and so happy.
I'm Bobby. We went to school together. Kiplyn and I were good friends. She loved you guys so much. Like she said, she loved her sisters. She loved her brothers. She talked nonstop about them. She just wanted to be the best of everything for Carissa. She wanted to be the best example. We tried out for cheer together like a week or so before she disappeared, and I remember practicing, getting our little cinnamon roll hands, and practicing, and we had so much fun. And one of the things that Kiplyn always did for me is sometimes I get a little too serious, and she would just make me laugh all the time. She could make anything fun and anything funny, and she would bring joy, and I miss her. I miss that joy. And She always wanted to be the best for her family. She loved you so much. And that's what she always wanted to do. It mattered so much that she was the best for you, and she loved you so much.
Hey, this is wonderful to have this many people show up on this special day. You know, I've known Richard all my life. We grew up together. We all went to school together, Richard and Tamara and I, and we're in the gang, and that's what we used to call ourselves, and we still do to this day. He truly is one of my best friends, and it was an honor for me. You know, as mayor, I get to do a lot of things, but to be able to make a proclamation saying that this is Kiplyn Davis's day, what an honor for me. And I appreciate the support of the community, the support of each one of you for remembering Kiplyn, for remembering those people that are gone missing, and don't ever give up hope. Always have them in your prayers, have those families in your prayers, because they need it. And miracles can happen, and that's what we hope for and pray for. And I know through this whole ordeal with Richard, I've spent a lot of time with him. Like he said, we spent a lot of times eating donuts, going searching out places, spending the night, camping out, hoping to find something. And it was an honor to do that. When he called, I went, and there was no question. And so, once again, what a great community we have, what a great city, what a great citizens we have here, and what a great family Richard and Tamara are, and thank you, each one of you.
Thank you for that beautiful musical number, Lizzie. Now we're going to have a moment in silence. For this moment of silence, we're thinking about all those loved ones that are missing out there, and we're thinking about their families tonight. So now we'll have a moment of silence. Great. Thank you so much for coming. I know that you guys read the rain. Thank you. Thank you again for coming. Whoever traveled so far, make sure you travel safely. Like I said, thank you for joining us tonight. And this is for the moment silence of the people that got missing and their families. And we're thanking them and showing their love and support. So again, thank you so much.